that's when it's time to get game on, live life to the fullest and have a blast doing it. And don't let anybody stop you. Don't you think?
That was Mollie Macarthy-Openshaw from Mood Swing Wines. This is another edition of How She Got Started on the Midlife Schmidlife podcast. Welcome to the Midlife Schmidlife podcast, a show that celebrates women over the age of 40 who want to live a kick-ass life. I'm your host, Liz Applegate, and I'll be bringing you inspiring conversations and practical advice with a little bit of humor and random 80s references mixed in. Join me as we redefine these middle years to start living with newfound joy and purpose while turning our maybe someday dreams into today. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Midlife Schmidlife podcast. I'm here today with Mollie Macarthy. And I just realized, Mollie, I hope I said your name correctly because I didn't check that before we started. Did I say your last name correct?
You did.
Okay.
And you did. That's my maiden name. I'm not married anymore. It's also Openshaw, but I'm hyphenated. You don't have to say Mollie Macarthy-Openshaw. You just say Mollie, like Oprah. Okay. Mollie, just
Mollie.
One name.
I
One
like
name.
that. I like that. And I'm really sorry. I just realized I was like,
it's perfect.
On her name. Hey,
You're
Mollie.
Hey, good morning, Liz.
Good morning. We're sitting here on an early Saturday morning. It's earlier for you than me. And maybe we are having a glass of wine. Maybe we aren't. We'll never tell. But Mollie is the owner of Mood Swing Wines, and I'm so excited to have her on the show. But before we get started, Mollie, do you mind just telling the audience a little bit about who you are and what you do?
I would be happy to. As she said, I am Mollie. I am the owner and creator of Mood Swing Wines. I am the only wine in this country that is poking fun at menopause.
There's so much to poke fun of.
There is. Is that the great way for the intro, right? I'm the only wine that celebrates menopause.
There we go.
There you go.
Great too.
There is, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am doing a segment of the show called How She Got Started. And because I love the stories of women, especially women our age, who go out and just create this awesome thing, and they make changes in their lives and take positive steps at this age. And so I'm really super interested how you got started. So would you mind sharing that story?
Not at all. It would be great to share the story. I love sharing my story. Rather than living fast and dying young, that there's a surprising number of women out there right now, that are stepping into entrepreneurship rather than the retirement stage. Right. You and I were just talking about why are people asking us, why are you going so fast? Why are you moving when are you going to ever slow down? Well, who wants to slow down, right?
Right.
Oh my gosh. And so I don't know. I always keep that in the back of my head because I was really surprised that I was meant for something else. I have been a nurse for over 30 years. And it wasn't until that light bulb aha moment came around again that, maybe a lot of women don't know is going to happen again in their life. Am I always going to be a nurse? Am I always going to be a mother? Could I be more than one thing? I think we're all created to be so many things, but until you listen to yourself and really run with that, you're meant for so many things that you don't even know. You just have to be open to it. Yeah. And it was just before my birthday, my 50th birthday. 5 years have passed since then. But before my 50th birthday, it was crazy. My girlfriend, one of my best girlfriends, who's actually younger than me, I came through her door one morning and oh my God, she was crying like a baby. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? And, I seriously thought because she was going through a divorce and she was going back to nursing school, there were books all over her house and she screams at me, I think I'm going through menopause. And I'm like, what? Right. You're younger than me. And I'm like, I'll be right back. And what do best friends do? They run to the grocery store and they get their go-to wine, right? That's what
Right,
they do,
right.
right?
Uh-huh.
And we'll talk about it. We'll grab a box of Kleenex. We'll talk about it. We'll get through it. We'll be great. Well,
Mhm.
Liz, when I went to the grocery store, and rather than going to our go-to wine, I thought, I'm just going to look and see if there's anything out there that would just like put a smile on her face, anything
Mhm.
that would make her happy. And while I was in the grocery store, there are thousands and thousands of bottles of wine. I'm not kidding. And I looked and I was really discouraged. There wasn't anything. So grabbed the go-to bottle of wine and headed back to her house. And we proceeded to talk about her mother, the hot flashes, the mood swings, whatever. And she really seriously, and looking back, she really did cry a lot. And she really was in that state of panic and despair. And what am I going to do? I feel miserable. And she really couldn't get a hold of her emotions. So we drank that bottle of wine, talked about it, and it kind of freaked me a little. I'm like, she's younger, and I haven't even had my first hot flash.
Right.
And when I went home that night, I really gave it some more thought. I'm like, wow, she's so miserable, and I hope she can shake this because she's a normally happy person. And I was thinking, gosh, if I go through that, I don't want to be a train wreck. I mean, I'm sure all these things can come to me, but I really still want to embrace the life that I'm given. I still want to have fun, blah, blah, blah. Is menopause going to stop me from that? I think a lot of it, and I'm not suggesting that symptoms and stuff like that don't exist, because they do, but we have to have a good mindset. And so I couldn't shake it, and it was driving me crazy. And the thing that I couldn't shake is that, seriously, there's not a bottle of wine that we could laugh about, celebrate, embrace. And seriously, it kept me up at night, and I kept thinking about it. And then, here we are of the internet age. I started to Google wine and menopause,
Mhm.
hot flashes, anything. And I thought, oh my gosh, there seriously isn't anything like that. And the more that I prayed about it, meditated, I seriously was getting woke up in the middle of the night with these ideas for wine, the label, the concept, the message I wanted to give. And I kept journaling and kept praying. And really, I'm like, is this another calling? Is this something that I should do?
Mhm.
I'm like, this is weird. And like flashes of, women and laughter. And I thought, okay, well, so my girlfriends, yes, my girlfriend Serena included, there's 5 of us that do everything together. And they took me to Maui for my 50th birthday. And I said, you guys, I've been having these dreams. I've been waking up, writing things down, journaling, told them the whole thing. And they said, oh my gosh, Molly, if you don't do it, someone else is going to do it.
Mhm.
And you have a strong message for women. You've always had a strong message, as long as we've known you, about embracing life, loving life. You need to do it. And Liz, seriously, when we got back from my trip in Maui, I cruised through the doors of some friends that have a marketing company. I said, this is it. This is what I want to do. And developed Mood Swing Wines within a year and
Wow.
launched the following January.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
it
First
is
of all,
really
what
cool.
amazing friends you have to take you to Maui for your 50th.
Yeah, I know, right?
But also to support you and to kind of give you that permission and that nudge,
Yeah,
to do it. And it's so important when we have, because I feel like sometimes we'll have ideas and we can share it with people, and sometimes we get poo-pooed on, right? There, people are like, are you
right,
crazy? Like, why would you want to do that? Why don't you want to slow down? That kind of
right,
feeling. And to be able to have that friendship, that group of people that you knew you could trust with,
right.
kind of like sharing
Exactly.
your baby, right? It's kind of like your little baby idea, and then for them to help nurture that idea and you too. That's amazing. So
We
I'm like, this question just popped into my head. Like, did
Sure.
you have any experience with wine? I mean, like any background experience or anything?
I am a professional wine drinker.
Okay.
I am a
Me
cork.
too.
I am a cork dork. I really am.
Of
I'm the
course.
biggest cork dork you've ever met in your life. Because I'll tell you something. When I was probably in my 20s, I was working at a rehab hospital, and I was working with a bunch of traveling nurses and traveling doctors, and we had a wine tasting party. And I'm like, oh, this will be really, really fun. And so I seriously, Liz, you're going to die. Okay, wine tasting party. Okay, this is a big deal for me.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the store and I come to the party with what the kind of wine my mother would drink, right?
Right.
Franzia in the box. So I came to this wine party where all these wine bottles were, and I'm coming in with the box of Franzia. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, that was kind of like probably one of the most embarrassing moments of my life, but it was also very comical, and everybody loved it, thought it was pretty funny. And I'm like, oh yeah, I really meant to do that.
Right.
You know, that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Liz, I don't have any experience in winemaking. It's been a growing process, though. I've learned so much about wine. I actually have a custom winemaker that makes my wine for me. You know, I love the fact, and I'm proud of the fact that, you know, I have a brand, I have a message, I created something for women. You know, I've learned a lot about the wine, like I said, but you know what? I really trust my winemaker. He's been making me a wine for 4 years now. It's consistent. It's lovely tasting. And as we introduce more wines into my line of wine, I totally trust, you know, the way that he makes the wine, because he's so well known and so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And so, no, I like it. I'm going back to, I'm a professional wine drinker.
Right. Well, that's a pretty good profession.
Right?
Yeah. So that to me is just amazing. And like you mentioned before, you know, we do live in an age, because I'm pretty sure you Googled it, right? Like,
I totally did.
Yeah. And so that's where, again, like, people may have these ideas, women, if you're listening and you have these ideas that maybe seem like huge, and Mollie was able to take this idea and realize she could find someone to help her with the things that she didn't know how to do. So,
right.
I love that you did that, and just kind of showing other women that, you know, you don't have to take care of it all. Nobody was expecting, you know, you didn't have to grow the grapes, and you didn't have to learn to ferment and all that kind of stuff. You went to someone who knew that part of the business.
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, I am all about, if I am not capable nor feel comfortable or feel skilled in an area. I mean, I have a bookkeeper. Shelby saves my life. She knows where to move the money, put the money, pay the bills. I don't want to have anything to do with that. First of all, I'm busy, but I don't want to have anything to do with that. And Shelby's become much more than my bookkeeper. She's really become my executive assistant. She runs my life. I'm not good at running my own life. I've got so many fires burning all the time. So she knows me better than myself.
Right.
I mean, and so ladies, I mean, if you are not skilled at something, nor do you have time or want to invest your time in things like that, get the help that you need. That's why they are, you know, bookkeepers. That's why they are, you know, they have specialties. People have talents and gifts and talents that, you know, could help you with your business.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, this could lead into a whole other conversation about outsourcing and looking at your gifts. There may be some listeners who do something really well, like people come to them all the time and say, hey, can you help me with this? And those are gifts that you have that you could actually help someone else with, and then create this around that. But I don't really want to, maybe that's another conversation for Mollie. But I just wanted to put that plug out there, because that is something that I help women do, is to find those little sparks that they have, and those things that they may think, oh, everyone knows how to do that. You know, we all, like the gifts that we have, we think everyone else is so good. You know, they know how to do that too, but that's just not true.
And I love that you can find that for them, Liz, because there's a lot of women that, you know, don't know how many gifts and talents they have.
Right.
Until they really look in. So I love that you do that for women.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
so fun. It is so fun to help someone discover that about themselves. And
exactly.
So not only do you have the wines, but and so actually you sent me a note that said that the wine is actually the exclusive wine for Menopause the Musical.
Yes, at Harrah's Las Vegas.
That's
That
amazing.
Yeah, it was so much fun. When I first had this idea to do this, I thought, oh my gosh, well, I love Menopause the Musical. And if you guys have not seen Menopause the Musical, you are missing out because you will laugh so hard that the tears will roll down your legs. I mean, it is so much fun. It is so much fun. And, when I knew I wanted to do this, I just picked up the phone. I'm like, okay, here we are, no more telephone books, Google, Google,
Right,
Google.
right.
And I'm like, I just want to talk to somebody that, will tell me all about Menopause the Musical, and I want to partner with them, blah, blah, blah. And I finally got a hold of G4 Productions, and they are actually the production company that works with Menopause the Musical, owners of Menopause the Musical. And I'm like, hi, this is Mollie with Mood Swing Wines. They're like, what? I'm like, Mollie with Mood Swing Wines. Hold on a second. And next thing you know, Ken is putting me on hold and bringing his other partner on the phone. He goes, okay, start all over again.
Yeah.
Tell us about Mood Swing Wines. And we instantly built an amazing friendship over the telephone. They flew me to Vegas, told them all about Mood Swing Wines, and they said, we are in. This is like a perfect pair, perfect partnership.
Amazing.
But, they could say yes, but it took me 2 years to convince the woman that makes all the decisions for the wine and beer that comes into her Harrah's. It took her 2 years to say yes.
Oh, wow.
But it also took me getting a distributor. And, I'm still a small company in the eyes of, big, huge, wine companies.
Mm-hmm.
I still am a baby. So a lot of these people, it's kind of risky for them to take me on. But I caught a guy early in the morning because, as you know, I'm an early riser.
Yeah, you are.
I got up and I'm like, I'm calling this person right now. And I called him and I was just going to leave a voicemail. He's like, hello. And I'm like, hi, is this Jeff with Southern Wine and Spirits? Yes. And you are. And it was one of those like, why are you calling me so early? But he loved the fact that I was up doing my work, following my passion. He says, yes, I'll definitely take you for a run. And then a year later, we launched at Harrah's Las Vegas. So it's super, super fun because my relationship has gotten even deeper with my friends at Menopause the Musical. I'm able to travel with them in cities.
Oh, how fun.
And this year is going to be really fun. We're doing some more events together and it's been amazing. I mean, are you not going to want to drink Mood Swing Wines when you're watching Menopause the Musical, right?
It just goes hand in hand. I mean, yeah.
It does.
Oh.
Huge, right?
Right. So I'm just so amazed at you. I just don't have any other words for that because I think of all the stories that we could tell ourselves that would keep us from doing what you just did, which was, that story that you shared, like all the stories that we could be saying, oh, who am I to be calling, Menopause the Musical, and who am I to be partnering with Harrah's and all these places. I mean, did you have any of that?
Have any what?
Have any of that kind of like that, that inner critic chatter that whenever we're doing something new, we can go down this path of like, well, this imposter syndrome of like, who am I to do this or that?
No, not at all. I mean, I know from the very beginning, I have not been afraid to talk to anybody, to suggest an opinion. I mean, I'm very outgoing. I always have been. I think that's one of my finer qualities. I'm not afraid to meet new people. I love meeting new people. In fact, I put myself out there every day to try to meet somebody. I'm not try is not the right word. It comes naturally, I guess.
Right.
And there are a lot of women that do have those inner voices that say they can't have it. But I'm not going to say I'm perfect at that. There are, like yesterday was a really SHIT. It was a shit day yesterday.
Yeah, you're
just going to say, okay, shit. It really was a shit day.
Yeah.
It really was because it was one of those mornings, and I start my morning with prayer and meditation and, wake up. It's going to be a great day. But, life gets in the way. And there were a really lot of nasty people out there that just kind of turned me sour. But, the inner voice mostly is not. It's just like, come on, who are we going to call? What are we going to do? How are we going to make this day great? But I've got to really say, it's hard for a lot of women. And I just want to encourage all of you that are listening, going back to what Liz and I said, if you have something that you want to do, Oh my gosh, by all means, like I have my girlfriends share, and I've got plenty of girlfriends, these guys on my trip, share it with somebody, let them know. Somebody's that's going to tear you down and go, oh, that's so
Right.
stupid. You're 55 years old. Why do you want to do that? Because if who knew at the age of 50, when most people are retiring, well, kind of wanting to retire, or
Right.
starting to
Right.
think about that, start a company. I mean, yes, it's exhausting. Yes, it's morning, noon, and night. There are people on different time zones you've got to call. But if it's something you're really called to do and you want to do it, oh my gosh, by all means.
Yeah. Yeah.
By all means.
Yeah. Something, and we talked a little bit about this before we started recording for the show, but, I just had a midlife moment where my train of thought just...
I love that. Yay, go Liz, go Liz.
Oh, shit. What was
I love that. Oh my God, I have that all the time.
Oh my gosh. That is so hilarious. Okay, so it had something to do with the fact that, it was coming into our own. That's what it was. How we both felt like just about this time in our life. It was a time for us that we felt that we could, I don't know, it's kind of like, I kind of felt like I was waiting for this moment like my whole life. It was just something I kind of knew I wanted to do, but didn't know when. And it just kind of fell into place with kind of taking a stand about women getting older and having a voice in that, making it a positive experience and not making it into a negative thing that we're surrounded by all the time. And so I never wanted to look back and think, oh, I wish I would have become a life coach, or I wish I would have started the podcast, or I wish I would have, done all these things, started my own company, started my own business, so I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like that is kind of a driver for you too. I could be putting words in your mouth, but I just feel like you just have this purpose to share a message, and also just kind of turn the negativity around this time of our life.
Well, and I mean, how old are you, Liz?
I'm 52.
Could you have done Midlife Schmidlife when you were 20? No. Could I have done Mood Swing Wines when I was just coming out of high school and knew that that's what I wanted to do? No. It really goes back to what we're meant to be. There's different times where we're meant to be more and more and more. It just keeps overlapping. I'll tell you one thing going into this. Okay, so I had my nursing instructor who has been a nursing instructor for as long as I can imagine. Okay. She, obviously did the hospital work, went to the junior college, and there she worked for years and years and years. Years after I graduated nursing school, she saw me again at another place of employment, another nursing, opportunity. And she goes, oh my gosh, she says, are you ever in the same place? You just flit. She used the word flit. You just flit around. And I'm like, okay, but it was such a negative thing, like you flit. And I'm like, she goes, I've been at the same job for, 40 years or whatever she said. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Then when I really looked at myself, I'm like, flit? I took it negative, but I'm like, oh my God, yes, I flit. And I'm proud of that. The experiences that I have had enriched me and got me to where I am today. And I'm thinking, were you happy working at the junior college for 40 years or whatever, right? And so I turned that flit from negative into a positive and thought, you know what? So now I am still a professional flitter too. And I love to flit all over the place. But when it comes to message, like you were talking about, I just had to say that because it's like, is she really that happy? I mean, was she just really meant to be that, teacher the whole time? Did she experience everything or have any regrets like you're saying, woulda, shoulda, coulda?
Right.
Did she or does she have those moments? So, and what message, going back to message, what message does she have, to share with the universe, with the planet? If that's what she was meant for, I'm not knocking her, but you and I now never would have known in a million years that this is what we're made for now, and that we really do have a strong message.
Right.
There are so many women that you talk to every day, in our age demographic that are so doom and gloom. It's like,
Right.
we were just talking about kids going to college. Oh my gosh, oh, my baby's going to
Yeah.
college. I'm thinking, when my kids moved out of the house, it was like, I'm free, right?
I love that. I love that. And actually, yeah, I actually want to talk about that because, so I always thought I was going to be that way.
Right.
I honestly thought the minute my oldest son graduated high school, I was a freaking puddle on the floor. And no one was more surprised than me because I really thought
Really?
it was going to be like, party, it's time to party. But
Really?
yeah, I was crying in Target. It was
Oh my God, Liz.
horrible. So what I love though is you had such a different experience, and I feel like we need to be super careful and think that, because like for me to think that all women are going to experience it the way that I did, or all women are going to experience it the way you did, right? Like I feel like we just really need to own like where we are and be okay with that and know
Exactly. Yes.
right. And if you are, if you are in that place and you are experiencing it like I did, and I still have my moments, but I'm I'm so much better now. Get the help that you need, whatever
Right.
that is. If that is picking up a bottle of awesome wine and sitting around with your girlfriends, or if that is going and seeing a doctor and getting antidepressants, or, just kind of own that's where you are. And so
Right.
that was kind of my little soapbox moment.
No, I'm glad you said that, because everybody is going to experience this time in their life as being something completely different.
Right.
And we can't like go boo-hoo, like, oh my gosh, are you serious? I would never talk a woman down that was like crying in Target.
Right. Yeah.
I like, dude, come on, really? Come on, follow me. Let's go get a glass of wine.
Right.
But everybody will experience that different. And, that's, but think about it, even if we weren't going through menopause, the different stages in our lives,
right.
Are those moments of, joy and sadness. But to what you said, Liz, make sure that you go out and get the help you need, because some symptoms of menopause are severe and they do require hormone replacement therapy. Women that have, in the midst of menopause, they get double whammed and triple whammed. It's not just that they're going through menopause. Maybe they were, later in life, their kids are going to college and all the different changes in high school and stuff. It's a big transformation part of our lives.
And it all hits around the same time. And
it does.
And I don't think people realize that. I belong to a couple of Facebook groups of empty nesters, and there have been moments where I will like pop in and say, hey, this, it's kind of like, I don't know how to say this very lightly. And I'll even say, a lot of what you're experiencing is very physically based too. Like, don't forget that your body's changing. And so all of this kind of compounds things too, I feel like. So not only are we seeing, our children growing up, and, then we're questioning who, you could be
who we are,
who you are, who am I now that I'm not their mother, which that doesn't change, but your role changes. And then your body's changing, and,
Oh, don't even start with the body.
It's harder to lose 10 pounds,
It is. And you know what? It's, oh my gosh. Yeah. The losing part, I think you're losing sight of how much we actually gain. No,
right.
Because I could walk by the refrigerator, just walk by it, to the bedroom, and I've gained 30 pounds just by walking by it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those things aren't fun, but gosh, we have so many resources, for staying on top of the game, and we've got doctors, we've got, health experts, we've got, counselors, we've got life coaches like you that can certainly just be so spot on and so helpful to so many people. And there's just so much out there, but it's hard because it's no easy task for some people, but I just really want people to be happy. I've lost, 2 brothers at very young age. They, with modern medicine, I know for sure my younger brother still would have been here today. There's just so much to that. It's like, but those guys were living their life to the fullest, and it's like, There's nothing different here. I want to do that because I told my daughter yesterday, uh, ladies, if your kids have graduated high school or college, they do come back.
They do.
They come back. This one was sitting on my couch just yesterday. Mom, can I do a load of laundry and take a shower? And by the way, blah, blah, blah. They do come back.
Yes.
But there's my train of thought that just went away.
Yeah.
Whoops. No. But they do come back. I know. So it's just, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So so now that we had that little soapbox moment,
right?
You, besides your wines, you also co-lead and co-orchestrate some retreats, which I find amazing. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I do, because that's so much more fun. It is. Yeah. It's just so fun. It's really great. Let me tell you too, though, that this whole wine thing, Mood Swing Wines, it is really, it's always all the events I attend and all the fun tastings and things that I've done. It really has, like we talked about, given me a platform to speak to women. Mm-hmm. And more people are like, well, why aren't you going to women's groups and organizations more and really just giving your message? And I'm like, I kind of am. But they said, take it a step further. You have a message that's so amazing for so many women. You need to start doing it professionally. I'm like, okay. So I'm starting to now speak professionally in women's organizations and conferences and seminars. But I love to travel, and I want women to also experience, give back to themselves. They've been a wife all this time, or a mother all this time, or there might be a career change, or they may have experienced loss. I wanted to take it a little step further, and I had the opportunity to meet Kelly, and Kelly has been going to Bali for like the last 20 years. I'm like, oh, a bunch of women going to Bali. Oh my gosh, would that not be so much fun? Yeah, and so I called her and said that I wanted to collaborate with her on some retreats. And she said, okay, but I'm bing, bada bing, bada bing. Let's get this moving, right? Well, we talked on the phone for a long time, and I'm like, let's just pick a date. And we picked a date. And voila, there we were. And so I thought, you know what, I want to do this more. And one of my best girlfriends too, Rachel, she does Spark events. She and I co-orchestrate Spark events with her, and we're doing women's events on that end. So it's just the travel and the retreats. And so we've got 12 women going to Bali this November, and not all of them are exotic and off to Bali. We do a lot of local things. We do city to city and kind of weekend retreats, and really, because come on, you guys, we need to take care of ourselves. And if it means going somewhere exotic or just even going away to a cabin somewhere for a weekend, that's what I want. I really want women to give themselves some credit and give themselves some R&R and some respite time and rejuvenate. And that's what these retreats are. We've got life coaches like you that are amazing, that just give you the tools that you need. And it's not like a sit down, pen and paper, okay, take notes, this is what you're going to do. It's just very free and very open, and kind of like our conversation now. We just lead into and roll over into different conversations of topic and make it very fluid and very natural, and let women have the opportunity to share, and we share together. And and my friend Kelly will give you, tools to go back home and really implement these life changes and how to embrace it. So it's a really good, feel good, walk away feeling refreshed, rejuvenated. And that's what I want for these women.
Sounds amazing. That is, sounds amazing. I'm going to have to try to come to one of your retreats. That's something I want to do. Like something I want to move into is having retreats. And so,
we really need to collaborate on that, because I just see such a value for women.
Yeah, it really, I feel like goes back, a big part of it is community, just being around other women and having that freedom to share and just be who you are. And we don't really have too much of that these days, which is sad. In this super connected world, sometimes I feel like we can feel very disconnected. And to be able to experience that would just be amazing.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, there are some women, and I know there are some women that. Well, I'll give my mom as an example. Mom, she in college, had her group of friends, did things, got married very young, started having babies. Like every 18 months, she had a baby. But she had really good close girlfriends, in college that she somewhat keeps in touch with. But you know what? My mom, she really doesn't have a group of girlfriends. My mom has always just been mom, married to dad, took care of my brothers and I. She goes to church and she's social there and on Sunday and maybe an occasional potluck or whatever here, but she doesn't have a group of friends. And I asked her, I said, Mom, do you miss that? And she goes, no, she says, I just, maybe because I just never really experienced, I have nothing to miss. But she loves watching me. She says, she goes, I just love the community you've got so many different tribes of friends and so many different women that you do things with. And what she loves seeing is that this group of women and this group of women, or we'll even include guys, this group of guys, there's just a perfect blend or chemistry that you have that just brings these people together. And it's always a good fit. Every time you go somewhere, it's in groups and you guys talk and you laugh and you take trips together. And, there's some women that don't have that, but I would encourage those that don't, if it's something you want to do. And I'm not saying that my mom did. She really didn't really have a desire to do that.
Yeah.
But if there are women out there, Liz, right, we need to encourage them. It's like, just plug yourself into something. It's not like I go, you can't be my best friend because I've had the same best friend since kindergarten and we're not letting you in the girls club. There is a girls club, right? Yeah. I mean, there's just so many great groups of women out there. And this is our time too. This is our time. I mean, I'm halfway through my life. Halfway. And do I want to make any changes? I mean, do I regret? Do I look back? No, not at all. I mean, everything that I've done has brought me to this point now. You know?
Yeah.
So,
man, I want to just like tap into your to your hold on a second.
Okay.
I started talking and laughing at the same time. I'm like so amazed at your energy and your positivity, and you're just like, go get 'em. Like, I don't know. I just feel like maybe I need to start drinking more of your wine or something. So,
right.
like,
we said earlier, is this coffee or is this wine?
Right.
No, it's not.
You never know.
No. Yeah. Yeah. You'll never know if I'm drinking Menopause right now.
I feel like, there are places and there are women. So I'll share a little bit, a story that I experienced of when my first husband and I divorced. I had a group of friends who I really thought that we would be friends forever. I mean, they knew me. We went camping twice a year. But a lot of them couldn't handle the divorce. And when I remarried, the few remaining couldn't handle that either. So it was very hard. That was a very hard time for me. Like the divorce was awful, and it was, something that I didn't necessarily like. You don't ever get married and think, oh, I want to get divorced, right? I mean, but you watch that relationship kind of crumble, and so it takes its natural progression to an end. And then you start a new progression of what that relationship looks like when you have children. But I feel like with my friends, that was such a devastating time. It felt like someone yanked the rug out from under me.
Like it was harder than your divorce, huh?
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting it. It just was kind of like they were my friends. And I didn't expect them to take sides between my ex-husband and I. But when they did, and it wasn't me, I was just like, whoa, what the?
I know, right?
What the F?
Right.
So, what I want to say is that through that experience, I really realized how hard it is at this time, how hard it can be to kind of create those new friendships. And after that, I was a little gun shy, to put it in a, I was
Right.
kind of like, oh, I don't really want to get too close, but I'm coming out of that, and I mean, it's been a while and it's taken me a while, but, I'm not sure why I wanted to share that, but I just felt like it was good to share if other people are feeling like, gee, I wish I had friends. And what I would, a group of friends, what I would recommend is looking at something like a retreat where you can, because you're going to be with like-minded women. I mean,
Right.
like it's just such a built-in thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there are groups in person, that you can join over an interest. Maybe if you've always wanted to learn to paint, go learn to paint, go
Right.
take a class. Also online. I mean, I know that you belong to a group of, entrepreneurs online.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
there's just a lot of opportunity. And I just wanted to share that.
And it's true. There is. And the other thing to add to that, though, is if you think you're being selfish with your time, you are. If you're being selfish about joining an entrepreneurship group or going out and taking Bali trips, and you think you're just being selfish, yes, you are. And you know what? Embrace it.
Right.
You need to be selfish with yourself and your time.
Mm-hmm.
You have earned it. You have raised your chickens. You have you've raised your husbands. You've given so much. As women, we have given so much to other people that we lose sight of ourselves and we forget to give back to ourselves. And yeah, I mean, going back to my daughter on the couch, I want to instill that in her right now that, dude, why are you crying over this guy? You are 20 years old. This is not your forever right here. This is not your moment. So, go out and do something fun. If he doesn't want to go out to the concert in the park tonight. You don't have to wait for him. Mm-hmm. I mean, do I wish that I would have learned all this stuff, long time ago?
20?
Yeah, right. But that going back to what I said before, I don't want to look back at those, I mean, this is where we are right now. Yeah. It doesn't matter what you're experiencing. You have time to give back to yourselves. Yes, be selfish with that. Because my daughter's like, oh my gosh, you're going to Bali and then you're in Vegas every other weekend and I never ever see you. I'm like, well, dude, first of all, you moved out of the house. Right. What are you telling me this for? You're not telling me anything I don't know. Mom. Yeah, slow down, Mom. I'm like, But even at a young age, I mean, she's sitting there thinking, I'm going way too fast. But it's like, it's just too bad that we have this stigma attached to our age that we should be like starting to wrinkle up and slow down and, go sit in a nursing home. Hello, right?
Right. And
so be selfish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's a stigma around the word selfish too. Like
there is.
Yeah. And it's a negative thing. And so it is such a new way to think about giving back to ourselves. And, because most of the time we've ended up on the bottom of the list, so to kind of reclaim that for ourselves, I just feel it's kind of like aging, like let's reclaim being selfish, like let's turn that around too. Like it's okay to be selfish.
Right. Would I want to be 20 again or in my 30s? Hell no.
Hell no is right.
I mean, when you think about like all the shit you went through, growing up and stuff, I mean, who had a perfect life? I mean, there were so many roads of transition and blah, blah, blah. No way. No way. 55. Right. Yeah. And I hate it when people go like, oh, 55 is the new 20. I'm like, who the hell want to be 20 again?
Right.
55 is the new 55, right?
Exactly.
No looking back. No looking back.
Right. Right. And you get to make it what you want to make it. I mean,
right.
And I do feel that, it's funny because I'm sifting through old photos and trying to figure, all that. I don't know if you went through the whole scrapbooking phase.
Oh yeah, we all did.
Oh, well, I've just, it got to be where the perfectionist in me was like coming up big time. So, and it was taking forever to do those pages. So I just basically have a box of photos that need to be dealt with. And I look at photos of like my grandmother when she was 55 and I think, wow, she looks old, And I look at pictures of me and I'm like, I don't look old. So
Isn't that so totally true?
yeah. And I feel like just times are changing. And I feel like too, and I love talking to you because all these things come up, but I feel like there is a definite, I'm not sure how to put this, but like there's a definite age group of baby boomers, right? And then I feel like our generation kind of gets lost. Like it gets kind of lost. Sometimes we get bumped into the baby boomers. It's like, wait, I'm not a baby boomer. I like partied in the 80s. Come on now.
Yeah.
I mean, and I feel like we are, I read an article one time, and I'll link to this in the show notes, but it was about our age group being called perennials because we are reinventing ourselves like no other age group has before. And so I just really love that. But I just feel like we, like you and I, are part of reshaping like what this quote generation looks like. So
like a perennial, right? Like the flowers that
like
come back
flower,
every year.
right.
Yes, of course we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just
Perfect.
love that because I feel like we're just, I don't know, it's just shifted. At one time, 55 was old, I mean,
yeah.
Because really, when you looked at the life expectancy, it really was kind of, but now, yeah, like
I'm going to see if I can find a picture of my mom when she's 55. Of course, she's this beautiful redhead, and looking at her right now, she's turning 80 in October, and she is still just as vibrant and beautiful red hair. And she got her first tattoo last weekend.
Awesome.
I mean, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
But she's so vibrant. I mean, she's almost 80, but I'd love to see a picture of her and put it side by side with me and just go, what was she looking like, and what was she feeling like? And I can tell you she's still just as beautiful then as she is today.
Right.
But, but
and that's not to say that everyone would do that.
Yeah.
So you've been on a reality show, right?
Yeah.
TV show. You go bike. You told me earlier you were going to go bike riding 20 miles or something today. I can tell you right now that back when our parents, our grandparents were 55, they weren't doing those types of things.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Never in my wildest dreams would I have seen that. Yeah. But there's just I don't know. It's just, I'd like to think that the planet, there's so many of us that are more wanting to get out and do things and not accept that this is the first coffin in your grave kind of thing, or first nail in your coffin kind of thing. Because there's just so much to embrace.
Definitely.
So much to embrace.
Definitely. My final question, Mollie, as we're closing out our interview together, is what does it mean to you to live a kick-ass midlife?
Oh my gosh, that's such a big question.
I love that question.
Okay, can you say it one more time really slow, because my brain on menopause. No, to have a kick-ass life. Oh my gosh.
So what does it mean to you to live a kick-ass midlife?
Well, I guess it's hard to say because I'm living it. And a kick-ass life is being everything that you can be, everything you can be to yourself, contribute to the world that we live in. Life is just such a sense of adventure. And, if you're not out having adventure, going out and having fun and being with the people that you love and want to spend time with, you're not having a kick-ass life. Yeah. I guess that's just kind of it in a nutshell. It's like, if you want to have a kick-ass life, hang out with the people that you love, get rid of the people that have no purpose in your life. I mean, that's part of being a kick-ass life. I mean, we have no room in our lives for people that are going to suck the life right out of us and tell us we can't do something when we know deep down in our hearts we can and we will. So I think it's eliminating things that are of negative in our life. If it's people, if it's a job that you don't like, if it's, a living situation, there's so much that could be negative that keep you from having that kick-ass life. So when you remove all that shit, that's when it's time to get game on, live life to the fullest and have a blast doing it. And don't let anybody stop you. Don't you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. That's like a kick-ass answer right there.
Oh, good. I'm so glad I have the kick-ass answer. Oh my gosh.
Definitely.
And I'm so glad you're in my life. Oh my gosh. You have no idea how glad. I'm just so thrilled you're in my life now. It's awesome.
I am too. Feel like that we need to do this again soon.
I would love to. I know all of our listeners are sitting there going, "Oh my God, they're just all over the place." And these guys are crazy, but it is, and it's so much fun. I love that nothing's ever planned. It's just whatever falls out of your mouth and what you have to talk about.
Yeah. I love having conversations like this, and I love spending my Saturday mornings with my guests and sipping on coffee and having these great conversations. And
I love it.
I'm super excited that I'm hoping I get to meet you in January. So in person, we'll have to snap a photo of us.
I know. I would love that. I would really, really love that.
Vibrant women in their 50s.
I know. And I hope more of these women that you listen to get to experience more of your wonderful coaching and, that more women are apt to want to try some new things and follow all the things that are given to them, because we are meant for more than one great thing in life.
I definitely think so.
There's so much to do.
Can you share with our audience where people can find you online and where they can pick up a bottle of wine?
I would love to. My wine is available online. You can go to moodswingwines.com. I am a social media whore. I am all over the place. Sorry, that's really, really bad.
No,
it's a daytime podcast, Molly. Keep it clean.
No, it's fine. You can put that little E by this episode, no problem.
Right, but I am. Yeah. Oh, E for what? Entertainment.
Explicit.
Oh God. Not E for entertainment.
Well, that's you.
Yeah. I've got a fun little group. Menopause Uncorked is one of my Facebook group pages. You can find me on Facebook, Mood Swing Wines Facebook. I have an Instagram, which is mood_swing_wines, because I couldn't just put Mood Swing Wines and make it easy.
Right.
But you can find me, and it makes a great gift. Also, if you come to Harrah's Las Vegas, obviously you can get it at Harrah's Las Vegas. And so, you can find me that way. I don't do Twitter as much as I should, but whatever. Yeah. But, podcasts and YouTube videos are coming. But I just want everybody, Liz, and you've got the same message, I know. It's, everybody else is dreading menopause and hot flashes, right? You don't have to. Take it on the chin, keep enjoying life, and especially wine for all you wine drinkers.
Right.
And why not celebrate and laugh and make fun of all of the challenges that menopause are bringing us?
Right.
I really want my wine to bring a lot of delight to a lot of women, and probably a few strong men along the way.
Yes.
And that we just need to embrace life and surround ourselves with the gift of family and friends, really, that love us in spite of it all. Right?
Yeah, most definitely. So, and then you have information about your retreats on your website too. That's amazing. And I will, like I said, definitely have all those links in the show notes so people can just click on over and make it easy to find you. So, Mollie, it's just been great. Thanks for hopping on the phone and sharing a cup of coffee or wine or whatever it is we're drinking with us on an early Saturday morning. I can't think of a better way to do that.
It's so much fun. I've had a blast with you, Liz. Thank you.
Schmidlifers, I hope that you enjoyed that conversation that Mollie and I had. She is such an inspiration and so full of energy and just positivity. It's contagious, right? It's just contagious. I want to encourage you to channel some of that from Mollie. Now, I realize that not all of us can walk through life without having these moments of feeling like we're imposters or questioning why we are choosing to do what we're doing and who are we to even think that we can make that possible. But let me just tell you that You are you, and that is all you need. You just need to start. You just need to take the first step. If I can help you with any of that, please reach out to me. I would love to hop on the phone, have a conversation with you. It's what I call a hello session. Just head on over to the show notes. I will have a link there. It is a conversation that you and I can have, and we can talk about getting you moving forward into the dreams that you've always wanted and creating a kick-ass midlife.